Welcome back to Africa on My Plate. I have a special guest that will be cooking a signature meal called Ayamase. I'm sure that some of you must have heard about this particular dish. It's really nice. I've tasted it before and I like it, and because a lot of people have been talking about it, especially about this particular lady cooking it in her own special way, I decided that she must show us those secrets that makes her own Ayamase very special. Hello, and this is my guest, Shola. So tell me a little bit about this particular dish.
This is an African traditional dish. In the olden days, this is done by our forefathers and our mothers. They go to the bush and the farm and pick up different type of pepper, chili, scotch pepper, onion, tomatoes. They blend it together and cook a healthy dish, which is no frying, nothing, purely poach, boil.
Interesting. So it's a healthy meal that we're going to be cooking, yet it's tasty. Okay, tell me about the meat that we're going to use. What meat are the ingredients for the...
For today, we're going to use goat meat,
Okay.
shaki. There's different type of meat you can use. You can use cow leg, you can use turkey, you can use kidney.
Okay. All right, kidney. Okay, so all the assorted sort of meat. But to make it as healthy as possible.
Not to use cow leg.
All right. Okay, and then what else? We've got tomato there.
We've got tomato, we've got onions, we've
Okay.
got the main ingredient, which is chili pepper. This is purely green, but sometimes you have a mix, some ripe ones like red in between.
Okay. All right, so you can have a mixture as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
depending on how dark you want it to be.
To look. Okay. Okay. And then we've got
the Maggi, we've got no Maggi there, we've got crayfish Maggi. This is hunger for stew.
Okay.
Different type of Maggi.
Can we get that here?
Yeah, you can get that in the market.
Interesting. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that's some of the things that gives it that zing thing.
And also depending on the individual, I put garlic, sometimes I put ginger in mine.
Perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
My
that
food.
makes it even much healthier.
Yeah.
I noticed that there is no salt. Are we going to add salt? And
Just a little bit.
Very tiny.
Very tiny.
Because
I've got the Maggi there and
Okay.
the meat, we're going to season it when we boil. You don't need
extra salt. Perfect. So let's get that. And for the oil, tell me about the oil.
Most people use palm oil, but because we're talking about healthy option, use pure sunflower oil or olive oil sometimes.
Good. All right. And that makes it...
And it tastes the same and more healthy.
That's what I like to hear. Tasty and still healthy. Okay. So let's then get down to cooking. Okay. Slice a small onions, garlic, ginger, and a half teaspoon of salt to season with your meat and bring to boil for about 20 minutes.
While we're doing this, we get our pepper ready. We're going to put a little bit of water so it can blend. Chili, tomato, and everything. You pour it in the pot like that. Okay.
Wow.
And this is hunger Maggi stew. You can get this in the African shop. It's very good.
Okay.
That's where I've noticed so far. I don't know about.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put 2.
All right.
It's very good for the love rice as well.
All right.
So everything we do, we're going to cover and bring it to boil for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Now we can check on our meat and think it's done now.
Okay. So that's the meat that's going to go into the...
Once that is cooked.
Once it's cooked. So you were mentioning earlier that this particular Ayamase meal is done by the farmer's wife.
Yeah.
Which particular area in Nigeria?
Particular dimension Badagry.
Badagry, okay. I know there's been some argument about that.
Everybody tries to claim this their traditional, but
okay.
When they mention, they say it's particularly from Badagry.
Okay.
So because those people actually live in the farm.
All right.
Maybe they stay in the farm for 3 months until they get a big cash. So while they're at the farm,
yeah,
they basically have to feed themselves based on what they have around them.
Okay.
That's why we don't have a particular. That's why it's like you pick the chili pepper can either be green or red, whatever they found there. Wow. They pick everything, the onions, tomato, everything they can use
and just put it all together.
And the reason for the raw pepper is because they blend it with
a mortar or something
like that. So it's rough.
Alright. And it tastes good.
It's natural, it's all organic.
Perfect. A quick look at it.
Yeah, that's boiling now.
It's boiling. Yeah.
The reason we're going to leave it for 30 minutes to let out the pepper, because sometimes some people don't like it very peppery because it can be very pepperish.
Okay.
So once you boil it for 20 minutes, you let out the pepper.
Okay.
And just make it
the
mild.
chilliness of it. Okay, so it's not as hot as. Alright. So because I know that some you can have it mild or you can have
very
it
hot. Sometimes it depends on the type of chili you get as well. So you have to be careful. Sometimes you get very green chili and it's bitter. Okay.
So you need to be careful.
That's why it's good if you can get a mixed chili, some that are a bit ripe. Okay. Or if some people just do it green and don't put tomato. The tomato actually calm down the chili and it's very hot. Okay. That's the reason, because some people don't put tomatoes in there. They just want it purely very hot, which is
can be raw. Okay.
Instead, just to make everything is.
I can smell the hotness, the chilliness.
Yes. Give it another 10 minutes. And you can put it on our meats and everything. Okay. Wait that.
Extra.
Pour some in the pot to fry it. The reason for this is just to thin out the oil so that when you put it in, it doesn't go thick. You're going to thin it out. Like if you fry this out, it's going to purely turn to like water.
Okay, on top.
On top.
It floats separate from the food.
It's flow separate. So when you want to take out the food, you can see that the food is settled at the bottom. Just dish out without the oil.
All right.
This is just to give it a bit, the face to be finance. It's not
okay. So it's mainly beautify the look of it. All right.
That's the reason why some people use palm oil, because they want it to be really red but it doesn't.
Because I'm looking at that, and you know, we're trying to say not a lot of oil, not a lot of.
Because remember, this pot can actually serve, this cooking that we're looking can actually serve about 20 people, 25 people.
That's fantastic. Okay.
Because you just dish the right thing, you see the amount of.
All right.
It's for you to enjoy it, not the quantity of
the soup itself. Okay. So now you're gonna heat that up for about how long?
About 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna my chili is ready. I'm not gonna put my meat in and just stay it and wait for that to dry. That's the way it's done.
Okay.
So I'm gonna open this up now and put my meat in.
Okay. So now the meat goes in.
Yes. Boiled meat.
It's a very unusual kind of stew.
Yeah. It's a salted meat as well.
You're gonna add all the meat, yeah?
No, it's too much.
It's too much meat. All right. Okay.
Although the idea of it is for every bit you take, there must be a meat in it. That's why we cut it very small. In cubes.
Right.
Even this a bit too big, but it's okay. That's it, we're done. We're just waiting for the pepper. Once the pepper is done, we just pour it and that's it.
Okay.
We're done.
What do you mean the pepper? To cool down or?
Yeah, to cool a bit. Yeah.
I notice you've lowered the gas a bit.
Yeah, it's just to
simmer down a little bit
it's
now.
already cooked now.
Okay, fine. So how long is this going to take now? Another
About 5-10 minutes. Once we put the oil, we're done.
Of course, it's still not water.
I
It's
know.
still oil. Right.
It's thinning oil out.
It's
Basically,
okay.
we tin the oil out.
And the whole idea of doing this is just because you separated the oil till the last minute so that it's still healthy because it floats.
It's not that it's cooking the food. It's not. It's just at the top of it because we basically cook. We can see that the food, we cook it raw. There's nothing inside.
Okay.
It's all boiled. So it's just at the end of it and we tin it out. It's not cooked with oil from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So we have to be very careful.
All right. Because the oil is quite hot.
Very hot now.
All right.
So be careful. Then you just cover it to steam. And you turn off the cooker. And that's it. You're done.
All right. Interesting. So basically, the oil just goes on top.
That's it.
Let it simmer. But you cover because it's a bit, the steam was
Almost
quite...
a bit, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you have any idea where that name Ayamase came from?
I'm not too sure. Like I said from the beginning, they said it's from Badagry. Maybe the Badagry do not know how to pronounce Nigeria because what we now taught is Ayamase. Maybe the wife will cook it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just their pronunciation.
Okay.
The Badagry pronunciation or their dialect.
All right. So like
wife will cook it. Ayamase.
Ayamase or Ayamase.
Ayamase.
Ayamase. So like
the wife will cook it.
The wife will cook it, not Ayamase.
No,
okay.
Ayamase.
Okay, something like that. Anyway,
something like that.
Let's hope we're right. All right. Okay. So, how long are we gonna leave that to steam?
As long as we're ready, we eat this with rice. We've got the rice boiled. This is yummy.
Now I know why people have been talking about your ayamashi. Very nice.